Hey there, this is a story of Narayana, one man who wanted to solve a big problem, the plastic problem, with a tiny solution: cutlery, edible cutlery. I am Linda and that is Eric, and we are the creators of this series. If you want to watch our episode of 20 minutes a little bit later, please subscribe to our channel. For now, enjoy!
Millions and millions of people are watching this video about bakies, and I was so impressed.
It was a life-changing experience on 9th of March 2016.
Even my friend's parents had seen it.
9th of March, there was a small video documentary that was put up on the social media, and boy, did it go viral.
The first few calls that we got were from Dubai, US, UK and Australia. It shocked us. How do people know about us?
I was able to put the phone down to brush my teeth at 3:30 in the afternoon. Till that time, no water, no tea, no coffee, no breakfast. It was that much, back-to-back calls.
Like, he's an overnight hit. I mean, that's what we think. Of course, he took years and years to make bakies, but he's an overnight sensation.
Before the film, we were on hanging a sword on the head. Any day my house would go, or the factory would go, or the whole thing will collapse.
When I started this, I, as much as my family, expected that it will be a success right from the day go. Unfortunately, it is never the truth.
Edible cutlery, a spoon made from cereal that can be eaten or thrown away to decompose. A simple idea that took 9 years to gain the recognition it deserved. This is a story about a man in his battle against plastic and his own shortcomings. Welcome to Hyderabad, India, to meet bakies.
I was a little late for my lunch and I ordered for something called jowar roti. It is flat bread, and when it is cold, it's very hard. It was so hard that day that I actually had to break it into pieces and scoop up the dal, scoop up the curry as a spatula and was biting into them. One day when I was flying back from Ahmedabad to Hyderabad, I was looking at the plastic spoon they gave me for onboard refreshments and remembered that spatula. Then I said, hey, here I am, 2 birds with 1 stone, and that was my eureka.
He's a loving person, that's all. He is my brother. When he was younger, he was very playful and cheerful, happy-go-lucky. My mother will be doing some cooking, then she needs coriander. He was the youngest among us, so she used to send him out.
I used to walk on the road all the way up to the market, which probably takes otherwise 5 minutes. In my case, it takes me 10 minutes because I am dreaming a lot.
He used to go under the cars when the mechanic is doing the work and see what he is doing.
Narayan's curiosity and inventiveness allowed him to study forest management, which landed him a job as a consultant for the agricultural sector. He was respected and had a steady income, but something was missing in his life.
Consulting profession gave me an opportunity to get exposed to a very diverse set of social dimensions. But I was not quite happy doing what I was doing because, as has been the case with consulting, our job is only to give a suggestion, give advices, but implementing the advice is not within our control. I'm not interested in being a part of that. I quit my job. I resigned. I am no more a slave to my salary.
What hit me the most about him was his passion. You know, and I think that's the first thing that you find in a real, true social entrepreneur is that passion that I believe this enterprise can help change the world. Even if it's a small drop, doesn't matter.
The idea is very good. If you eat it, okay, it becomes a food. If you throw it, it can become a manure to the earth. But in India, replacing plastic is a big challenge.
Plastic is something that we have been using forever, and I understand a lot of people know that plastic is not sustainable and it's not a good thing for our planet. However, changing that behavior is very difficult for one man and one enterprise to do.
The most common form of plastic is made from petroleum, a nasty form of oil that is pumped out of the ground, transformed into products to finally end up in the ground again. Landfills, unfortunately, aren't the only place where plastic rests. Most of it ends up in our oceans. It's predicted that in 2050, more hazardous plastic will populate our seas than fish. So why do we keep on consuming plastic?
Aluminum and steel were expensive and therefore came plastic. And plastic was so cheap that people started using it too much and too many and too often. There is already something called bioplastic, which is biodegradable and certainly not a health hazard. Okay, the bioplastic is not being picked up as much as plastic is. Why they are not being purchased is because the history is not kept in mind, that the steel to aluminum to plastic was because of the price. As you lower the price, and so is the acceptance. So we now need to come out with a solution, with an alternative which is as cheap as plastic but minus the negatives. And that's where we came in.
He started his business like 10 years back. In the early stages, it was all okay. And then suddenly, the business went down.
I do not come from a family of entrepreneurs or business people. Business is absolutely alien to us, and profit is a bad word. You know, I read quite a few books about sales and about how to convince a customer and stuff like that. End of the day, I was not able to manage really good sales.
Spoons we were making, whatever we made, we used to go every Sunday and sell it at organic markets. Because we thought this would be a good platform where like-minded people come and they won't mind paying a little higher price. And 4 rupees a spoon is definitely a luxury here.
Pragya's husband Narayan had sent me an email with their products, and I said, oh, that sounds interesting. I said, why don't you show up? And when I met the man, I was quite energized.
You want to taste a spoon? Do you know you can eat a spoon like this? Just like that. Have a bite.
So I think in the beginning, the response was a little muted in terms of, people opening up and trying it out.
Best thing that happened there were the children who would come with the parents. We would offer them a spoon just to taste, and they would go back and call other friends, and then 2 spoons, 4 spoons, they were giving as samples, and the parents were forced to buy it initially. Later they bought it willingly.
How much did you say the total price?
50.
I am concerned that the public perceives this as a fad, because that would be so painful, that people want it for a birthday party or for a wedding, or this is so cute and sweet and we're having an eco-friendly wedding. That's not the point of what he's trying to do.
In the beginning, the spoons were made in tiny ovens, but they couldn't keep up with demand, so Narayan had to build a gigantic machine. This is how the spoons are made. The dough is prepared and flattened. The sheets are then pressed into the mold to travel through a hot, long tunnel. In the process, all moisture in the dough evaporates and what remains is our hard cookie-like spoon. A simple process, but it's hard to meet health regulations.
Don't throw. Who's at loss?
They will have to understand that. I'm getting so irritated with these ladies. ఒకసారి కాదు 2 సార్లు కాదు 10 సార్లు కాదు ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పాలి
అదేం లేదు మేడం ఫ్రీగా ఉంటారు సార్ ఇంకా ఎప్పుడైనా కోపం వచ్చినప్పుడు అంతే అదేం భయం వేస్తుంది
We don't say we are the boss, you better listen to me. I encourage people to even disagree with me. So that's another social objective that I am achieving through this, and that is women empowerment. Women in India are not generally empowered enough. I believe beyond the physical and the biological differences between man and a woman, intellectually all of them are almost the same.
The one thing that they say is they feel very protected and they feel free to talk anything with me, be it their very personal issues, health issues, or they have issues with their husbands. I also had calls from some of their husbands saying, is my wife actually working there full time or is she going somewhere out somewhere? Because some wives are very good looking. And I have to tell them, look, if you have doubts, you join us.
So you must have heard me shouting at them that you are not keeping this place very clean. So the question I asked them in Telugu was, who owns this factory? They all answered, we. So that is a sense of belongingness they have with that factory. So I said, if it is your factory, then why are you keeping it so unclean? I have not come across any single user having ever washed his plastic spoon before dipping into food. For some reason, these users believe plastic is as sterile as a syringe. Buy a bunch of plastic spoons and drop it in water. After some time, a thin film of oil floats on the surface.
The oil Narayana is referring to is a type of Vaseline used by manufacturers to prevent the spoons from getting stuck in the molds. This oil is often not removed and can easily end up in your food.
When it comes to manufacturing of the utensils, there are no legal frameworks. Therefore, the manufacturer can very well compromise on several aspects in order to cut his cost down. And the one that I have noticed is the hygiene conditions under which these are manufactured. They are done in the most unhygienic way. I did not invent edible cutlery because I hate plastic disposable cutlery. Of course I do, but I hate the groundwater depletion much more. There were these dry land crops like millets. None of the millets are being considered a rich man's food. On the other hand, water guzzling rice and wheat are considered rich man's food. Where a poor man wants to become rich or at least exhibit himself as a rich man, he starts changing his food habits, and from the traditional millet consumption, he is moving towards rice. Rice requires 60 times more water compared to millets. And we are actually ending up with millions of tons of rice rotting every year in our warehouses by producing so much.
Rice takes a lot of water versus millet, and he says that in that video. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to also convert people into consuming millet, either through the edible cutlery, but also there's a subtle message of rice is not so eco-friendly.
I was completely convinced that this is a product that can never fail. I was absolutely sure about it.
All my savings were going, which I had saved for last 20 odd years, I kept telling him, I'm losing all my money.
I never seen God, neither do I believe in one. But then I started believing that if there are hindrances, it is God. So what did I do? I became an iconoclast, started breaking idols, throwing them. It was a pretty long period. I was drinking a lot, getting angry, getting frustrated. Why such a good product is not selling?
There were several times when the fights were so bad. I even went away from the home 3-4 times and went and stayed with my brother because I just couldn't take the pressure.
2-3 years back, we always insisted him saying, go get a job somewhere and try working so that you can earn.
Be a consultant, go 2 days in a week. I will manage the factory. You just go work. We need hard cash for our daily life.
When nothing is happening in the business, it is just his foolishness to be back off a product which is just not launching in the market.
My daughter was in trouble because she was in a certain stage of growth. We couldn't buy her the simplest things. She was performing extremely well, getting 90%, 99%. We couldn't even get a chocolate.
Both of them are emotional. They both are emotional.
When things go wrong, you got two options. One, blame God. One, you look at yourself. The period of rage was pretty long. I think it is more than 2-3 years. And much of the rage was because of my financial inabilities. Having been accustomed to a life of security that, okay, end of the month I'm going to get this much of salary. Now there's a whole lot of uncertainty.
The premises that we hired had a very high rent and it didn't work out. We had a fight with the owner and it came to a point when he locked up our factory. 2 weeks the whole factory was shut. I have 12 to 15 women coming here to work with us. Am I empowering them if I'm not empowered? The workers were saying, don't shut down. We don't mind if you don't pay us for a while.
What really struck me is that, he put his own home on the line and he could easily be taking a safe route. Yet he decided to sacrifice and risk all of that.
Banks thought it is easier to take this property and we are supposed to vacate all our material belongings in the flat and they are going to put it for auction.
It was humiliating. The house was at stake. The whole reputation that you gain in life was at stake because your name comes in 4 newspapers. That's not simple to handle.
We were trying to tell the bank that, look, this is a product which is emerging. Please give us time.
At Narayan's darkest hour, help came from an unexpected source. A news site called The Better India posted a video online about Bekis. The video became a viral sensation and took the Peesapaty family by surprise.
I was absolutely unprepared for that kind of an avalanche of inquiries and orders.
We were too overwhelmed with the phone calls.
One person from a crowdfunding company called me up and said, Narayan, would you like to put this up on crowdfunding? And I just didn't know what crowdfunding is all about. And I said, go ahead and do it. Here, there is no coating. In fact, it is entirely nutritious. You can eat up the spoon.
The crowdfunding campaign quickly surpassed its goal.
What has gone right with this video, I would like to know so that I can strengthen myself in that direction, but nobody was able to answer me. In the earlier, I said it is an alternative to plastic, and that is what I was focusing on. This was the only video where I had declared the prices. Environmental advantages do not sell, it is the price. Plastic is very cheap, true, but I can make it as cheap. I can. For 9 years I was not able to sell, so naturally I was not able to imagine a very big picture.
In 24 hours, we got 80,000 orders on our website. We committed a biggest blunder, saying we will supply you within 10 days. 1 month passed, 2 months passed. People call us cheats, fraudsters, scamsters in bold letters in red. Say, are you giving me my spoons or not? I will take you to court.
My next step is now I have to scale up and scale up very fast. So we are very clear in what we can do and what we cannot. We are now ready with the technology.
Now the machine has started functioning from last 15 days. Our shift has become 24 hours. The spoons are coming excellent. They're getting packed and they're being sent.
We are actually not able to give everybody and anybody as much as amount they are asking for. Maybe that day would also come soon in our life.
You know, all these years of wait, and suddenly like the sky falls on you. What do? Open your arms. Take it.
Just because you're a great inventor doesn't necessarily mean you're a brilliant businessman. Narayan had to learn it the hard way, yet his persistence and dedication helped him rise from the ashes.
I was able to continue focusing on that light only because I got no other worries. I got a beautiful wife, a very strong, rock solid support, a great mom, and I got the greatest daughter. So what more does one want?
He should now spend time with the family and relatives too, and get that joy back in everybody's life and in his life too.
Without blessings, things can't happen. It is a magic that has happened. It is a magic. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you for watching the entire episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel if you want to be notified when the next episode will be online. Please like and share if you think we should eat our way out of the plastic problem. I will start.